The village of Eldaglen nestled deep within the Whispering Peaks, a place where winter lingered like an old friend long overstaying its welcome, snow piled high against stone cottages, muffling the world beneath a thick, silent blanket. Young Arin, an orphan raised by his taciturn grandfather, felt the cold seep deeper than the frost into his bones. His parents were lost to a mountain storm years ago, leaving a hollow ache in his chest that no fire could warm. Each evening, as the indigo sky deepened and the first stars pricked through like scattered diamonds, Arin would climb onto the thatched roof of their cottage, seeking solace in the vast, indifferent expanse above. His small figure silhouetted against the immense night, he felt impossibly small beneath that sky, a tiny speck adrift in a sea of darkness and ice. High above, the moon, ancient and luminous, observed the tiny boy night after night. It saw not just the physical shivers that racked Arin's thin frame, but the profound loneliness that radiated from him like a chilling mist while it bathed countless lands in its gentle silver glow, bringing comfort to sailors and lovers. The moon felt a peculiar tug towards this solitary child in the frozen valley. Its light seemed to bounce off Arin's sadness. Unable to penetrate the shroud of isolation, he carried the moon, pondered the warmth it saw flickering in human hearths below, a warmth it possessed as pure, brilliant light, yet could never truly share in the way humans needed. A quiet yearning stirred within its celestial heart, a desire to bridge the impossible gap between its cold radiance and the boy's desperate need for tangible comfort. One particularly bitter night, the wind howled like a grieving spirit around the eaves. Arin huddled on the roof, tears freezing on his cheeks before they could fall. He looked up, his gaze locking onto the Muneiro's full, sorrowful face. It seemed to shimmer with a deeper intensity, pouring its light directly onto him. A concentrated beam of silver in the oppressive dark. Almost without thinking, driven by a need as deep as the cold, Arin stretched out a trembling, mittened hand towards the distant orb. And so cold, his whisper was stolen by the wind, yet the moon heard the silent cry echoing in his heart. In that moment, a profound understanding passed between the child and the celestial body, a silent pact woven from shared solitude and unspoken need. A remarkable ripple passed through the fabric of the night sky. The moon, that constant, unchanging fixture, began to gently descend. It didn't plummet. It floated downwards with impossible grace, like the world's slowest, most beautiful snowflake. Its luminous form grew larger, bathing the entire snow-covered village in an ethereal, silvery white light brighter than any winter dawn. As it neared Arin, its edges softened, its brilliant sphere subtly reshaping, compressing the fierce, distant light transformed into a warm, inviting radiance by the time it hovered just an arm's length away from the awestruck boy. The moon was no more. In its place hung a magnificent lantern, crafted seemingly from solidified moonlight itself. Its surface pulsed gently with an inner warmth, and delicate, crescent-shaped patterns swirled across its milky glass, emanating a comforting heat that pushed back the biting wind tentatively, his breath forming clouds in the suddenly less frigid air. Arin reached out, his fingers brushed the lantern's surface. It wasn't cold like metal or glass. It held a gentle, welcoming warmth, like smooth stone kissed by the summer sun. As his hand closed around the sturdy handle formed of woven moonbeams, a profound wave of comfort washed over him. It wasn't just physical warmth that flooded his small body, melting the icy knot within his chest. It was a deep, resonant sense of companionship. He felt seen, understood, and profoundly cherished. The immense loneliness that had been his constant shadow dissolved in the lantern's radiant glow. He held aloft not just light, but a piece of the heavens gifted solely to him, a silent promise that he was no longer alone in the vast, cold universe. Arin climbed down carefully, the lantern casting a wide, protective circle of soft, golden silver light around him, he pushed open the cottage door. His grandfather, old Tom, looked up from mending a net by the weak fire, his eyes widening in disbelief at the radiant object his grandson carried. What is that light, boy?" he rasped, his voice rough with age and surprise. Without a word, Arin walked to the struggling hearth and gently placed the moon lantern beside it. Instantly, the dim fire seemed to gain new life, its light merging with the lantern's radiance, filling the small room with a profound, enveloping warmth that chased away decades of chill. Old Tom stared, then slowly reached out a gnarled hand towards the warmth, a single tear tracing a path down his weathered cheek as forgotten comfort seeped back into his bones. Word of the miraculous lantern spread through Glen like wildfire, though no fire had ever burned so brightly or warmly. Villagers, drawn by the unearthly glow emanating from old Tom's cottage, came cautiously, carrying their own burdens of cold and loneliness. Shyalara, grieving her lost lamb, gruff-born, nursing a broken heart. The widow Marin, hollowed by years of solitude. One by one, Arin brought them near the lantern. As they stood within its circle of light, something extraordinary happened. The warmth wasn't merely absorbed. It seemed to spark something dormant within them. Their faces softened, eyes lost their haunted look, replaced by a dawning peace. The Lanterna's light didn't diminish. It seemed to grow stronger, fed by the shared relief and burgeoning connection flowing back into it. The cottage became a sanctuary, filled not just with physical warmth, but with the low murmur of voices sharing stories, tentative laughter, and the profound, healing silence of companionship. Rediscovered Glen changed. That winter the moon lantern remained in Arin's cottage, its light a constant, gentle beacon against the mountain's fierce cold, but its true magic had already spread. The villagers, touched by its warmth and the profound sacrifice it represented, carried a spark of it within them. They checked on their neighbors, shared meager supplies freely, gathered to sing old songs that hadn't been heard in years. The biting wind still blew, the snow still fell. Deep, but a different kind of warmth now pulsed through the village, a warmth born of empathy, kindness, and the understanding that even the coldest night can be transformed. Arin, looking up at the sky where a new, smaller moon now shone, knew it was a reminder. True light, the kind that truly banishes darkness, isn't just found in the sky. It's kindled in the heart, shared hand to hand, a lantern passed on through the longest, coldest nights, forever changing those who carry its glow.